Kent's winning streak at the start of this season's NatWest T20 Blast was brought to an end by Hampshire, who won by 22 runs at the Ageas Bowl. James Vince won the toss and decided to bat first, but the in-form batsman was out in the second over as he pulled Doug Bollinger's fifth delivery straight to Adam Ball at mid-wicket after making 5. The Spitfires would have been delighted with that, but Vince's replacement Jimmy Adams made the perfect start to his innings. He went after Darren Stevens, taking him for 3 fours off 3 balls with a mixture of the orthodox and unorthodox. 14 runs came off the 5th over of the match as Hampshire again started the game in a positive frame of mind. Adams raced to 33 off just 16 balls inside the power play, while Michael Carberry made a slower start, although a boundary in the 6th over off Mitch Claydon settled him down a bit. The score read 47 for 1 at the end of the 6 overs of power play, and Adams continued to play his shots even with the fielders out. He showed what kind of form he was in by switch hitting Adam Riley for the first 6 of the match. That remarkable shot brought up the 50 partnership, but Riley exacted his revenge in his next over as Adams went on the sweep and was given out LBW. It ended an excellent innings from Adams, who had made 47 off 26 balls. At the halfway stage of the innings, Hampshire had moved on to 76 for 2, but the IPL star player Glenn Maxwell was now in. He hit his 3rd ball and the first he faced from James Treadwell for a maximum, a huge hit over cow corner. But Treadwell showed his class by holding the next ball back a tad, and Maxwell, looking to repeat the dose, holed out to Stevens at deep mid-wicket. It was a classy bit of bowling from the England man. With the Australian gone, Hampshire had to go again on 83 for 3 in the 11th over, and Carberry began to pick up the pace of his innings. 2 classy 4s in 3 balls came off Treadwell's next over as he finished with figures of 1 for 33 from his 4 overs. Carberry was now the key man for the home side on the day he was left out of the England Test squad. Those boundaries took Hampshire into 3 figures after 13 overs, and Carberry then moved to his 50 with his first 6 as he took 14 off Stevens' last over. The half-century had come off 45 balls and it included 6 4s and that maximum. All that after he'd struggled at the start of his innings on a fresh pitch at the Ageas Bowl. He wasn't struggling anymore, and he then powerfully pulled Bollinger for another maximum as Hampshire looked to finish off their innings strongly. Carberry was now into the 60s, but after adding 55 in 6 overs with Owe Shah, the partnership was ended as the latter got a leading edge off a shot off Bollinger to be well caught by Ball at deep extra cover. It left a score on 138 for 4 with 19 balls of the innings left. Sean Irvine came and went quickly, falling at the end of the 18th over as a dink shot off Claydon went horribly wrong, playing the ball instead into the gloves of Sam Billings. The Spitfires were finishing well and things got better for them when Carberry had a swing and a miss at a ball from Bollinger. The batsman went for 73 made from 58 balls with a score on 152 for 6 in the penultimate over. Adam Wheater was run out 2 balls later. Stevens with a direct hit from extra cover. He had only the 1 stump to aim at and he hit that perfectly. After the loss of those wickets, the momentum was with Kent, but 16 runs came off the last over with Chris Wood playing some very good shots off Claydon. It meant that Hampshire ended on 171 for 7 from their 20 overs. Bollinger the pick of the Spitfires attack with the excellent figures of 3 for 19 from his 4 overs. It was generally felt that it was a pass score on this surface. The Spitfires knew that it was going to be tough at the start, and Rob Key and Daniel Bell-Drummond made sure that they kept their wickets intact. They both struck the occasional boundary as they opened up with a stand of 31, which was made in the first 5 overs. 141 were now needed off 90 balls. Danny Briggs was introduced into the attack at the start of the 6th over, and he struck with his first ball as Bell-Drummond drove him straight to Vince to go for 12. The power play ended with the total on 35 for 1, and then Key hit the first 6 of the innings, just evading the fielder on the long-off boundary. At the halfway stage of the reply, the Spitfires had made 65 for 1 and now required another 107 runs off the last 10 overs to keep up their 100% record in this competition. Key knew his side had to get a wriggle on, and so he went after Maxwell, striking him for a flat 6 over cow corner. His first half-century of the summer in this tournament arrived in the same over. He'd needed just the 34 balls to get there, with 3 4s and 2 6s included, in what was another fine knock from the Kent captain, who is leading from the front in this season's NatWest Blast competition. But the rate required was still heading towards 11 per over by now, and so more big hits were required. Key had been dropped on 53, and he then took on Briggs for his third maximum, while Sam Northeast followed that up with his first, a massive hit into the stand as the score raced on to 110 for 1. It meant that 62 more runs were needed of the final 6 overs. It looked as if it was going to be a very tight finish at this stage, but then Northeast reached for a wide ball from Will Smith to feed Shah a catch at backward point. Northeast had done well to make 35 off 27 balls, but it left 52 more runs to get off another 27. Stevens was then put down to the first ball he faced, but he didn't make Hampshire pay, as he was bowled by Briggs to the next ball he faced in an over which went wrong for the Spitfires. There was a little confusion over this dismissal, but it was confirmed by the TV umpire that the ball had just clipped the leg stump. Briggs then grabbed his third wicket as Billings missed a full ball from the spinner and was perhaps unfortunate to be given out LBW. At 130 for 4 now, 42 more was still required off the final 3 overs. Just 5 runs came off the next over from Wood, and that just left Key and co too much to do. The Kent skipper then walked, thinking he'd been bowled, but the replay showed otherwise, and he was recalled by the umpires to finish on 89 from 63 balls. A fine effort. But it was in vain, as Hampshire took the game by 22 runs for their 4th win from 5 games. The middle overs costing the visitors, who were not able to push on enough. One of the T20 favourites are now 4 points clear of the Spitfires at the top of the South Group, although Kent do have 2 games in hand, their next being at home to bottom team Middlesex on Friday night.